everybody, my name is Brandon, aka the Brando Critic, and today we are discussing Mission Impossible Fallout, aka Mission Impossible 6, and the highest rated Mission Impossible movie on Rotten Tomatoes. So normally when I do my reviews, I come home from the theater, I think about it for about a day, and I would write my review on my website, do a bit of notes on a piece of paper, and then really process, okay, what am I gonna say, how am I gonna say it, I'm gonna talk about the plot, the actors, the production design, the cinematography, whatever, and then I talk about it to you guys. However, some movies, like Mission Impossible Fallout, I feel like it's gonna be more natural for me just to, I walked out of the theater last night, thought about it, went to work today, thought about it, came home, thought about it, didn't write down anything, and now I'm gonna talk about it. So this is uncensored, unfiltered, unscripted, Mission Impossible time. So Mission Impossible has slowly become one of my favorite film franchises ever. I didn't grow up with it. The first one came out when I was only 1 year old, and I grew up with franchises like Star Wars, Harry Potter, James Bond, Indiana Jones, and when we would talk about it in film school, like, oh, hey everyone, what's your favorite film franchise? One of my friends said, Mission Impossible. And then I thought about it and I'm thinking, you know what? That's actually a really good choice because, I've seen all the Mission Impossible movies, and to be honest, I've enjoyed every single one of them in their own way. Even Mission Impossible 2, and I'll talk about that in another video. But even when watching all these movies again in preparation for Mission Impossible Fallout, I'm thinking, wow, you know what? This is just a great franchise. And if Mission Impossible Fallout is the last movie in this franchise, then wow, did they go out with a bang. So I guess I should talk about Ethan Hunt himself, played by Tom Cruise. Now my two favorite actors are the two Toms, Hanks and Cruise. While I think Tom Hanks is a much better actor, meaning he has more range, I can believe him as a captain of a ship in the Somalian waters, and I can believe him as Walt Disney. Tom Cruise, I don't think has as much range. However, you just are always along for the ride, no matter what movie he's in, no matter if he's a bartender in Cocktail, if he's a fighter pilot, if he is a IMF secret agent, you're always along for the ride. And he's just a charming guy. And I know Scientology, I know the whole, I love Katie Holmes. Yeah, I can put that off to the side. And I can watch this movie as, okay, Tom Cruise is a great action star, and man, I'm not the first person to talk about how amazing his stunts are, but his stunts. Holy crap, I saw this movie in IMAX, and I was on the edge of my seat like, oh my God, Jesus! Like, he's amazing. Tom Cruise impresses me so much, and he does an amazing job in this movie, especially with those stunts, man. Like, you've seen some in the trailer, but I swear, watch this movie on IMAX just for his stunts and the action set pieces alone. Speaking of action set pieces, this movie has some of the best action sequences in any action movie today. The motorcycle chase through Paris, the rooftop chase through London, and the helicopter chase through the mountains of Kashmir all are spectacular. Wonderful, wonderful to see on the big screen, and again, see it in IMAX. Okay, if you're gonna shut this review off right now, just see this movie in IMAX. It's completely worth it. And you know who else really impressed me? Henry Cavill. You know what, to be honest with you, I don't think I've actually seen that many movies with him in it. I've seen the DC movies where he plays Superman, and I've seen A Man from U.N.C.L.E., and I remember liking him in that, except the movie is pretty forgettable. And, at work we talk about movies all the time, and we're thinking like, oh, who could be the next James Bond actor? You know what, after seeing this, I think Henry Cavill could actually play a pretty badass James Bond. The scene in the trailer when he kind of like does the, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm a 6'8" scrawny guy. What do you expect? I can't do it. Add on top of that Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames and Rebecca Ferguson? I was gonna say Melissa Ferguson. It's Rebecca, right? Rebecca Ferguson. All of them are extremely fun on screen. Now, if I only had two gripes with this movie, and they're minor. One is that you have to pay attention to every single line of dialogue. And the Mission Impossible movies are always about double crosses and espionage, and there's a mole in the agency, and it's pretty repetitive. There's always gonna be a rogue agent from the IMF, or a rogue agent working with someone from the IMF from the Russian government, or MI6 or something like that, dealing with an arms dealer. The plots are very, very similar. And while this movie can get a bit confusing at times, there's like a double cross, and then a double cross on top of that, and you're thinking, oh my goodness. But you know what though? you kind of let it slide, and although it might not make complete sense to you while you're watching it, the more you think about it afterwards, and I'm sure after a repeat viewing, it will make sense. And no spoilers, don't worry, but there's one scene in particular where I'm thinking, okay, how in the world is Ethan gonna get out of this? Right? I just don't even know how in the world. Oh. Takes out the Scooby-Doo mask. Oh my god! Dun 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 dun. And I'm just like, oh yes! Like, this movie, and especially this franchise, has a lot of those moments where that song gets you going, man. Like, the Mission Impossible theme is one of the best theme songs in any movie series ever. So while the plot may be a bit confusing, I give it props though, because it's not like they treat us, and this is going off what Chris Stuckman said in his review, and I agree with it, is that, you know, this movie treats you like an adult and says, okay, if you're gonna watch this movie, you have to pay attention, because if you do pay attention, you will be rewarded. It's not one of those movies where you can just kind of watch on Netflix on a summer day and just kind of like, oh, swiping right on Tinder. Oh my god, he's dating this person now? What the hell? Why isn't my Amazon package delivered? You know, oh, okay, Tom Cruise is like doing a thing. Like, no. You gotta watch this movie and you gotta pay attention. So, that's one thing. And the second thing is that this whole movie's plot gets going because of a pretty stupid mistake done by Ethan Hunt's IMF team. I was even in the theater thinking, what, oh, you messed that up? Oh, okay. It seemed a little amateur. That's just a little nitpick. So is this my favorite Mission Impossible movie? I don't know. I haven't seen Rogue Nation since it came out in theaters. I was gonna watch it beforehand, before this movie, but my dad's like, oh, let's go watch it now. So I'm like, okay, let's go watch it. So I'm in the process of watching them all, and I'm gonna do a ranking video. I'm gonna do my own separate reviews for each one, but this movie's up there because this movie gets a 5 out of 5. And I remember giving 5 out of 5s to Rogue Nation and to Mission Impossible 3. You know, Ghost Protocol, it's up there too. I don't know if I can give it a 5. I gotta think about it some more. So again, stay tuned for the ranking video of all the Mission Impossible movies, but is this movie perfect? It's pretty close. It's quite fantastic, I'll just say that. And is it my favorite movie of the year so far? I don't know yet. But when I'm ranking like favorite movies of the year, or favorite movies of the summer, or favorite movies of a certain franchise, I feel like you need to let it sink in a little bit, so it's a bit too early to tell. However, I do know that I loved my experience watching Mission Impossible Fallout, and I believe that you will too. So anyways guys, let me know in the comment section down below what is your favorite Mission Impossible movie. And if you're new and want to see more, definitely hit like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Take care.